Hello and welcome to today's upload. Today we're going to look at how to write to inform. Transactional writing. So transactional writing, what is it? Well, transactional writing is our non-fiction, our realistic writing. So imagine you're writing a magazine article, a newspaper article, a speech, a diary, a letter. So if you're doing AQA English, this would be question 5, paper 2 of the English language. If you're doing Edexcel or any of the other exam boards, still have to do and be able to do transactional writing. So, how do we do transactional writing? We need a formula, we need a structure. So yes, we've looked at the language in our previous uploads. Today we're going to look at how we put it all together in a formula. So, we're going to try and aim to write 6 paragraphs. We're going to add a strapline. Now a strapline is something you usually see in magazine and newspaper articles, just below the headline. Sometimes we call it a subheading, it can be known as a reverse shoulder, but a strapline usually gives us a little bit of information. It sums up what the article is about. So we might have what, where, who, why, and when. An example would be, and we try to put it in a sentence. So if you were asked to write an article about homework, we could say, every week teenagers in the UK are suffering due to teachers setting too much homework. So what are we talking about? Teenagers suffering. Where is it? In the UK. Who is it? It's teenagers. Why? Because teachers are setting too much homework. And when? Every week. That would be a lovely strapline at the top of our article. So when we write paragraphs, and this is whether we're doing creative writing, fiction or non-fiction, the 3 elements we should include in every paragraph. We should use ambitious vocabulary, wow words, big words. We should use language techniques, similes, metaphor, alliteration. Sentence types, the whole variety of different sentence types. And if you're unsure on any of these, there is an upload on each one with examples in my quick win uploads. So please look at my channel. Look at the quick wins and you will see videos and uploads on the 3 points there, and many more as well. So, the first paragraph, we have our strapline and then we go into paragraph 1. Now in paragraph 1 we want to address the audience. We want to make a point. We want to set out our 3 main ideas. So we want a sentence where we can outline 3 ideas. The 3 ideas will be the body of this piece of writing. And we want to include language techniques. So paragraph 1, address the audience, make a point, outline your 3 ideas, language techniques. So an example, dear head teacher, I am writing this letter to question your decision to take away our lunch times. Lunch times are paramount. We need our lunch times. Time to socialise, time to rest our brains, time to refuel for the rest of the day. Do you think lunch times is important? So you will notice the sentence with the 3 points on. Now this sentence is taken from a book called Exciting Sentences by Alan Pierce. Some fantastic sentence types there. It is a book just full of different types of sentences. So what I've done is I've taken his sentence type and I've found a way to put it in a transactional piece. So we tell, we need lunch times. That's my tell. Now can I have 3 examples? Why do we need lunch times? To socialise, to rest our brains, to refuel. There's my 3 points. And then I end with, do you think lunchtime is important? Which is rhetorical question. So in our first paragraph, we are setting out the main points of the transactional piece. Then we move on to paragraph 2. Now paragraph 2 is our first point from paragraph 1. So the first point was the yellow, time to socialise. So in this paragraph it's going to be all about time to socialise and why that's important. Again, we must include it's a paragraph, so sentence type, language technique, ambitious vocabulary. Now we could include some other features as well, and I've named 2 below. An anecdote and a quotation. An anecdote, a short story. A quotation, we could quote a professor. So Professor Smith from Durham University said. We could quote someone that's directly affected from the incident. So I talked to a year 9. Simon in year 9 said. So we're backing up our points. We're using our writing skills and our elements and features to improve and make our writing look more realistic. And there's many more as well. They're just two examples, anecdote and quotations. Now the next paragraph you'll see it's almost exactly the same as paragraph 2. The only difference is the yellow turns to green. The green is our second point in our Tell Show 3. There it is, time to rest our brains. So we're going to look at why it's important rest during break times, why we need a rest period. So again, we've got what we must include: sentence types, language techniques, ambitious vocabulary, and again we could include anecdote, quotations. Now the note here is use different language techniques, different ambitious vocabulary, different wow words, as it were. Don't use an anecdote in every paragraph or a quotation in every paragraph. Mix it about. Use different techniques. So a different language technique in each paragraph. Don't quote someone in every paragraph. It just becomes too repetitive. Now we're going to change it a little bit. We're going to add an extra paragraph, and it's a one-sentence paragraph in the middle of our writing. Now if you think, you're looking at your work, do we see 4, 5, 6 paragraphs all exactly the same size, very neat, very well presented on a piece of paper? Well, that looks very good, but you're not writing for effect. So a one-sentence paragraph is writing for effect. It shows that we're thinking about our structure and we're thinking about how we emphasize our points. So a one-sentence paragraph could be a rhetorical question. It could be a statement. For example, are you now seeing the importance of rest time? That could be a paragraph all by itself. We emphasize the point by doing that. Then we come back to paragraph 4, which is our third point. Our third point was time to refuel. Have food. So again, sentence type, language technique, ambitious vocabulary. We could also include, again, anecdote, quotations. Remember, there's lots and lots. Do your research, do your revision, find out what different features we can include in our writing. And the last paragraph, paragraph 5, similar to paragraph 1. Paragraph 1 is our introduction, paragraph 5 is our conclusion. The middle paragraphs, 2, 3, 4, the main body of our writing, where we address our points. So paragraph 5, we're going to summarize, we're going to conclude. So we link back to paragraph 1, and we're going to include some bossy verbs, known as imperative verbs. An example: in conclusion, it is obvious lunchtimes are imperative to students. We must have a chance to relax. When we have time to rest our brains, when we have time to refuel, when we have time to relax, then you will have a happier school. And again, this is another sentence type. So it's the language technique as well as we have repetition. When. We're using repetition to emphasize our points. And this again, it's known as a when, then sentence. But look at my sentence uploads, and you'll see a whole variety of different sentence types and where we can use them. So if we look at the structure and the formula, this is it in one page. This is looking at how we hit our assessment objectives and what we need to include in every paragraph. So have a look at it, have a go at using it. Pick a title. It could be, why is homework important? Do we really need our dinner times? And you can decide on the format which you want to write in practice. So if we go right back to the very beginning, could it be a magazine, newspaper article? Could it be a speech, a diary, a letter? You may get any one of these in your exams. So it's worth playing about and trying different things. So we've covered the structure, the formula, what a strapline is and how to use it, and what we need to include in our sentences. Now it's over to you to have a go